All right, good morning, South Mississippi. This is Meteorologist Aaron Colby. We're going to be taking a look at the weekend forecast, also heading into the week. It is the first week of fall, as fall does officially start on Monday, and we're also going to be looking at maybe some changes coming up in the weather pattern, which is about time. We've been stuck in the same pattern for several weeks now. And looking at the IP Casino and Resort camera over in Biloxi, looking up to the north, things look great out there. Traffic on I-110 moving smoothly. Mostly clear skies, and we're going to keep that for most of the day today. However, we are going to start to develop some more cloud cover than the past several days, and that will continue well into the evening and into tomorrow as well. So let's take over a look over at the Hancock-Whitney camera over in Gulfport. Things are great out there. Of course, we have events going on there in downtown Gulfport, and things are looking really nice for your day if you do plan on spending the day out there. As of right now, 78 degrees at the Gulfport Airport. We are heating up fairly quickly. Most of us will be right around 90 degrees or a little bit above 90 as we go into the afternoon hours today. Humidity just slightly higher than the past couple days, dew point up in the lower 70s. As far as temperatures go, some spots have already reached 80 degrees. Biloxi and Poplarville, both at 80, Moss Point 79. And the rest of the area still hanging out in about the mid-70s, but many spots are quickly starting to heat up right now. Looking at today's forecast now, as we go into the rest of the day, very similar to the past several days, we're going to be looking at the potential for, some winds out of the south, breezy at times, as well as some cloud cover developing as we go into the afternoon hours, and the potential for maybe a couple stray showers, mainly during the early to mid-afternoon hours as we go through the day today. Radar all clear across South Mississippi. What you're actually seeing there is called ground clutter. That's when the radar beam bends back down towards the surface of Earth. Well, then you can get things like birds, trees, or maybe even tall buildings in some of these frames there. But looking at Futurecast, we do stay nice and clear throughout most of the day. You can see winds out of the north for most of the morning, then they turn. Once they're out of the south, that means that sea breeze has started. And the sea breeze itself can become the focal point for a couple of showers, so we'll be keeping an eye on that as we go into the afternoon. By the evening, that's when the cloud cover does start to work its way in. Still could have a few stray showers out there, but cloud cover will continue to increase going into the overnight hours. Early tomorrow morning, the potential for widespread cloud cover, at least mostly cloudy, maybe partly cloudy in some spots, but all the way up to mostly cloudy across some parts of South Mississippi. Once again, sea breeze develops during the day. The winds turn out of the south, and that could give us the potential for some more hit or miss showers going into tomorrow afternoon. Overall, the upper air pattern looks really nice as we go into the week. Now, you can see here big changes on the way. Finally, we get a low pressure system to move along the jet stream in the upper parts of the atmosphere. This could help supply a low pressure system at the surface, and that would be a huge aid in getting a cold front to try and develop and push its way down towards the coast. If it does make it to the coast, the good news is that it'll be bringing those rain chances with it, especially by the middle and end of the week, looking at the potential for some higher rain chances, as well as some lower temperatures, which is right on time because fall starts on Monday. But before we get back to that, we're going to take a quick look at the tropics. The good news, especially for this time of year, it's not very active, and that is great, especially looking out there. We do have Tropical Storm Gabrielle, and that is going to be turning back out to sea. You can see the cone there. We're going to look a little bit more into that here in a little bit. But right behind Gabrielle, we do have a tropical wave. It's in the yellow, that low chance of development as it moves across the Atlantic towards the Caribbean. Just like the past couple of tropical waves that have moved through this area, this is expected to make a turn to the north, passing just north of the Caribbean, and at that point we'll have to wait and see if it does develop or not. As of right now, low chance of any development over the next 7 days. Turning over back to Tropical Storm Gabrielle, you can see it does look a lot more well-defined there on satellites. It has been struggling a lot in the past several days. Lots of dry air, lots of wind shear out in the open Atlantic, but it has finally found an area of favorable conditions to continue to develop itself a little bit more and to really consolidate down, make it sure its core is nice and healthy. And at this point, we do expect it to slowly start strengthening. This is expected to reach hurricane strength. However, once again, this is not a threat to the U.S. This will move very close to the island of Bermuda before turning back out to sea. The National Hurricane Center does expect this to peak at Category 2 strength as it moves out over the open northern Atlantic. Back to fall starting on Monday. Of course, meteorological fall did already start. That was September 1st. And these meteorological fall is mainly just based on an annual temperature cycle. This is on average when temperatures do start to change, seasons begin to change, and it's really set in stone so that we can have a much more formal climate data because the astronomical fall can change from year to year on the exact day. So we want to make sure in terms of climate data, you make sure your seasons are all starting on the same day. Astronomical fall, which is what is happening on Monday, and that is based on Earth's position as well as Earth's tilt in relation to the sun. It uses the equinox as the starting point of fall, which this year falls on September 22nd, Monday. Looking at the 7-day forecast, things look really good. Of course, as we move into fall, we're going to start to see those rain chances increase a little bit and the potential for some slightly lower temperatures thanks to that upper level low pressure system. But if you have any weekend plans, you're looking great right now. Both today and tomorrow, low rain chance, high temperature in the low 90s. Morning temperatures are going to be creeping up. We do have a little bit more humidity back in the area, and that could bring those morning temperatures back up into the lower 70s like we did see this morning with many spots right around 70 degrees. Of course, towards the end of the week, rain chances may start to climb. We'll be keeping a close eye on that.